Hi there, and welcome to She Spice. Jaguar Wright just addressed the inquiry. Many individuals have been discreetly getting some information about this entire Diddy adventure. Did Jay-Z squeal on Diddy to get him good and gone in her new meeting? Panther Wright didn't keep down on reality bombs as she made sense of why all that is reality, as per Panther. Jay-Z has an example of setting his opposition up for failure to make sure he can stay on top. He did it to Woman Run. He did it to R. Kelly, and presently, he's doing it to Diddy anyway. Jaguar likewise accepts Jay-Z's time is practically up, and he will get what's coming for him whenever they're managed. Diddy, so did Jay truly squeal on Diddy to save himself? Has he been a narc from the beginning, and we simply didn't come to an obvious conclusion? We should separate them. So for what reason does Puffy come to mind? For what reason has everything come to an end now? Why now, since he's the okay beast as of now, like R. Kelly was the keep-going time? I sat on this lounge chair, so Panther Wright is once again at uncovering Diddy and Jay-Z, and it appears as though we could have misjudged how serious this Diddy circumstance is on the grounds that, as per Panther, the justification for why we've not seen Jay-Z emerge to help Diddy is that he's essential for the motivation behind why Diddy is where he is correct now. Jaguar, as of late, sat with genuine creations to do a profound plunge into everything concerning Diddy, the claims, and the charges. In this new meeting, Jaguar didn't actually say whatever she hadn't said about Diddy previously. Paying attention to it will in any case have your jaw on the floor since she truly went in on a portion of the shows of dominance happening in the background as per Jay-Z, which is in a real sense setting Diddy up so he can be the unchallenged expert of the business. So who's next? You all don't see the setup. Jaguar has discussed Jay-Z commonly in the past. In one of her later meetings, she went off on how Jay-Z is more terrible than Diddy. She likewise said that Jay-Z hasn't been gotten in light of the fact that he's more astute and more determined than Diddy. Cian Carter is a more regrettable, gracious man. He's more intelligent. He's patient. He's not messy. MH has been arranging individuals he calls companions and venturing to the side while they get hit by the Gill Group for a long time. Well, in this new meeting, Panther said the main justification for why we're seeing Diddy become the dominant focal point in this examination is that it's his chance to go down, and it seems to be the specialist's truly implied business during the Diddy attack on the grounds that, as per Jaguar, they kept all that secretive. As a matter of fact, the authorities who did the strike purportedly didn't actually realize it was Diddy's home. They were going to until they arrived. The higher-ups didn't tell anyone since they knew with Diddy being Illuminate that he had individuals in the power, and they needed to ensure that went through genuine, so they ain't let no one know whose houses they was going to. That is the reason you see the firearms. The police didn't realize that they're in Beverly Slopes around the bend from the Playboy Chateau. They weren't aware until they saw the messes. You can see the reason why that might have been significant since, in such a case, that news had spread that the attack was for Diddy's homes. He could have caught wind of it and attempted to conceal proof, or possibly gotten his children out of the house before the strike began. That likewise makes sense of why the attacks at Diddy's homes on the East Coast and West Coast were done all the while. Now, after the strike, Diddy's rep put out an announcement, calling it an exorbitant demonstration of power and a witch hunt in view of unjustifiable charges. The assertion read yesterday was that there was absurd abuse at the military level. Powerless court orders were executed at Mr. Kalla's homes. There is not a remotely good reason for the extreme demonstration of power and aggression shown by specialists or how his kids and workers were dealt with. Mr. Combs was rarely kept, yet he addressed and helped out specialists regardless of media hypotheses. Neither Mr. Combs nor any of his relatives have been captured, nor has their capacity to travel been limited in any capacity. This exceptional situation, matched with a high level of facilitated media presence, prompts an untimely hurry to judge Mr. Brushes and is just a witch hunt. In light of meritless allegations made in common claims, there has been no finding of criminal or common obligation with any of these charges. Mr. Combs is blameless and will keep on battling each and every day to demonstrate his innocence. Anyway, Jaguar said the authorities were legitimate and going in with full strategic stuff due to the kind of allegations against Diddy and the sort of things they were probably going to find in the house. It's fascinating that Panther likewise spilled the tea on what truly occurs at Diddy's gatherings, and it's the very way the bits of hearsay have been saying it is much more terrible. Jag affirmed that Diddy has numerous cameras at his home to record all the oddity off meetings. Have you at any point been to a P. Diddy party? Better believe it's many, genuinely. Thus, could you at any point take us through, like, what goes on? Like, when you were there, what did I say? When you all asked me about what the good reason was, the TD Jakes at the Diddy party. Better believe it. Yes, right. Were you astounded that there were such countless cameras in his home and that he was recording these? He is the Jago hit bounce, yet it deteriorates. Recall how Lil Bar altered his claim to add that youthful Miami was a medication donkey for Diddy, and that she was assisting him with moving the pink Coca-Cola well. As per Jaguar, the reality behind that pink stuff is that Diddy utilizes it during his gay oddity offs. Feline is how they approach that. Road extraordinary feline. It's a veterinary medication. It's a pony sedative. Now gay men have been involving this for a really long time. Some time ago, in the event that you hit up a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain medications that you would constantly find close by, such as Viagra. The unique K & Co young lady. It's practically uncanny the way that all that continues to agree with what we've been catching wind of Diddy for a really long time, and that is the insane part, the way that Jaguar hasn't changed her story by any stretch of the imagination since she began discussing Diddy, and you all could call her insane when she expresses these things, yet up to this point, she hasn't been off base at this point. I mean, didn't Cassie say in her claim that Diddy used to siphon her aunt? The male escorts loaded with drugs before they had the oddity off meetings, assuming you accept Diddy was giving out drugs, like treats, and not taking some for himself, to likewise enjoy the oddity offs, then I truly don't have any idea what to let you know. At any rate, in the meeting, Jaguar discussed how Jay-Z surrendered Diddy to the federal authorities and sold out him as he did with his different companions like R. Kelly and Woman. Run, he ain't doing different. He arranged a sanctuary, took his life. Fee in character, he arranged enormous L, took his life and character. He arranged D-Day, he took his life and character. And he took his music love. L up R. Kelly. He needs to be the one take R. Kelly, for instance. Even after the charges against R. Kelly began surfacing, Jay-Z was still companions with him. As a matter of fact, they did a tune together, named Blameworthy, until demonstrated guiltless, which as we currently know didn't mature well by any stretch of the imagination, yet that wasn't enough for Jay to demonstrate his fellowship to R. Kelly. They proceeded to do a collection together, and afterward visited that collection notwithstanding R. Kelly enjoying in the middle between to manage his lawful issues anyway. It appears Jay-Z could have recently been playing in R. Kelly's face the entire time on the grounds that, as per Panther J, truly surrendered R. Kelly to the federal authorities and got him down truth. It was Jay's kinship with R. Kelly that at last drove Jay-Z and Woman Run separated in light of the fact that Lady Run felt he was unable to be companions with somebody who has such an odd faithfulness to hoodlums. Jaguar Wright once discussed how Jay-Z did Woman truly grimy, and for nothing for setting Jay and Lady used to be truly dear companions and colleagues. They began Rockefeller together, yet Lady needed to leave ultimately in light of the fact that Jay-Z began acting latently forceful towards him and quit counseling him. Prior to going with a few significant choices on top of that, Woman felt hurt that Jay was pursuing Aaliyah, notwithstanding realizing that Woman was enamored with her. Discussing Aaliyah, Jaguar discussed how Jay-Z got Aaliyah unlived as discipline for dismissing him, and furthermore, to wipe out Beyonce's opposition. Carter is answerable for establishing High Williams to put Leo on a broken plane to move her out of the way as discipline for dismissing him. Thus, he could step up. Beyonce, who was battling, how about we say purportedly that happened? You see, this isn't whenever Jaguar first discussed Jay-Z being liable for Aaliyah's demise. She fundamentally said exactly the same thing every time she sat on that blue love seat. The thing is, Jay-Z supposedly needed to make Aaliyah his young lady, and that is notwithstanding understanding how his best friend R. Kelly treated her. Yet Aaliyah friend-zoned him and, on second thought, began dating Woman Run. Reportedly, this dismissal pissed Jay-Z off so awful that he needed to find the following best R&B silly after Aaliyah, which incidentally turned out to be Beyonce. And you all can't see me. You haven't seen how comparable Beyonce's feel was to Aaliyah's, to some extent in the previous phases of her vocation. Currently, tales have been circling since. Subscribe She Spice for more videos.